Hi, today's technique that we're going to be learning is called wax paper resist, and the background of this card is a wax paper resist with the texture. These are other samples of basic wax paper resist on glossy cardstock. So to do this technique you would need glossy cardstock. I don't know if you can see that it's shiny, paper towel, and wax paper, a brayer, and an ink pad of your choice. So I will show you quickly how this is done. Basically, you cut your wax paper, or rip it off, cut it slightly larger than your glossy paper. Really simple. Crinkle it. You can crinkle it twice if you like. Open it up. Glossy cardstock goes glossy side up. Now to protect my table, I just have a towel, a piece of toweling, and the paper towel. Glossy cardstock, glossy side up, wax paper, and then I take another sheet of glossy cardstock, and you get 2 for 1 this way. Place it glossy side down. With your iron set, mine is set at 5 with no steam. You just cover this with, to protect your iron, cover it with paper towel and iron. This melts the wax, and you will get a double piece of cardstock to brayer. Doesn't look like much right now, but as soon as I apply the ink, this is garbage now. As soon as I apply the ink, you'll see the design. Why I really like this technique is I have a lot of in-color ink, and once your in-color cardstock wears out, it's a method that you can use to extend the colored inks and get lots of use out of them. So all I'm doing now is taking a brayer, inking it up with an ink pad of my choice, and then I'm going to brayer on this, and it's like magic. You'll see all the colors. And don't worry if it goes like that for you, because you just keep inking it. And eventually you'll get a nice flat, even color. So what I'm doing right now is inking my brayer up once again. Now my Stampers Club asked me if there was other ways besides using a brayer that you can do this technique. In fact, there are. You could sponge, and you can also use a stipple brush. It gives a much softer technique, much softer effect, but it takes a lot more time. So now you usually I take a Kleenex, and I forgot to bring them, just to wipe off the excess ink. And you can leave it on there, yes, but it takes a while to dry. Now this is ready to use right away. You can stamp on this, or you can use it as I have in cards as a background. Like in this card, which was totally cased off of Split Coast Stampers from Stampin' Gen 0. And in her card she used a designer paper background, and I decided, since I didn't have that color, to try it with the wax resist. I'm also going to show you can have a bit of fun with this technique by folding your paper in more traditional styles. As one of my Stampers group folded their paper in half again, or a quarter then, and made kind of like a fence design by folding it in X's, quarters, like this. Opening it up, you'll see a slight design, and again you'll get a totally different look from this piece. And it might be an effect you want for, say, a more country looking card. Whoops. Again, 2 for 1. Though I only inked one of my glossy cardstock the last time, I will ink the other perhaps in a different color. So you have lots of of range with this technique. I think that should do it. Doesn't take long with a hot iron. And this was the folded piece of wax paper. This time I'll use Kiwi Kiss just to see a different color. And I'm inking that up right now. So even for a basic and very simple technique, you can get a wide range of effects just by the way you fold your cardstock, your wax paper. Again, I'll wipe off the excess, generally done with a Kleenex, just because it's softer and a little bit more absorbent. If you like no white to show through, you might just want to leave it the way it is, but there you can see kind of like a gate or a fence effect. And lastly, I'll show you another technique, a way of folding, and it is, and I don't know how easy this is to see on white, but you're folding your wax paper in half, quarter, and then taking this tip, you're going to make all the lines radiate, all your folds radiate into one point. Doesn't have to be perfect. But this way you'll have a focal point whereas the spot you might want to put your image. When you open it, I don't know if you can see, but it does go right to a direct point. Now I'm just going to make it more interesting by crinkling to give it a little bit more texture and interest. Again, I'll roll ink my brayer up and use 2 pieces of glossy cardstock, one up, one down. Now you don't have to have this image, the center point right in the center. In fact, it's more boring if it is. So, whoops, this one's glossy side down. And I'll iron that quickly. And I'll take one of the 2 pieces to show you what this will look like. I'm going to do this in our Pacific point so you can really see the difference these simple folds make. Depending on how you cut this glossy cardstock, you can reposition that central focus point, and you may not have noticed, oops, maybe I don't have that, yes, in this particular card, it's a lighter color, but all these lines radiate to this point. So drawing your eye into the point where my image is. Simple, fun technique, giving you wonderful textured backgrounds for very little effort. If you want to know more advanced techniques, I promise you another technique video coming soon. Hope you enjoyed this today, and see you soon for Big Shot textured wax paper resist. Bye for now.